Hello everyone. So today is our third day challenge of English speaking practice. So today's topic is sacred roots, the tradition of tree worship. So let's start. Worshipping trees is an ancient and widespread cultural tradition that reflects the deep connection between nature and spirituality in human civilization. Across the world, from the sacred groves of India to the oaks of Celtic Europe, and the sycamores of ancient Egypt, trees have been revered as sacred beings, symbolic of life, fertility, wisdom, and divinity. This practice, though often seen as a religious or spiritual activity, also has deep ecological, cultural, and philosophical implications. Origins and historical significance. The practice of tree worship dates back thousands of years and is found in many early civilizations. In ancient India, for example, trees were seen as abodes of gods and spirits. The Rig Veda, one of the oldest texts in the world, contains hymns that praise trees for their life giving properties. The concept of sacred groves was prevalent, where trees were left untouched and worshipped as manifestations of divinity. In many indigenous cultures across Africa, Australia, and the Americas, certain trees are regarded as ancestors or spiritual protectors. Similarly, the Druids in Celtic Europe considered oak trees to be sacred and central to their rituals. In Japanese Shintoism, the kami spirits are believed to dwell in natural elements, including trees, and shrines often feature a sacred tree with a rope called shimenawa tied around it to mark its spiritual significance. Worshipping trees in Indian culture. India presents one of the richest traditions of tree worship in the world. Here, trees are not just part of the environment, they are woven into fabric of religious and daily life. Several trees are considered sacred and are associated with specific deities. Pipal tree, Ficus religiosa, also known as the Bodhi tree, under which Lord Buddha attained enlightenment. The pipal tree is worshipped by Hindus, Buddhists, and Jains alike. It is often associated with Lord Vishnu and is considered a symbol of the cycle of life. Banyan tree, Ficus bengalensis, known for its large canopy and aerial roots, the banyan tree represents immortality and shelter. It is associated with Lord Shiva and is often the center of village life. Neem tree, Azadirakta indica, revered for its medicinal properties, the neem tree is also considered sacred, especially among rural communities. It is often planted near homes and temples and worshipped by women for health and protection. Tulsi plant, holy basil. Though technically a shrub, Tulsi holds an exalted place in Hindu households and is worshipped daily as a goddess. It is believed to bring health, prosperity, and spiritual purity. The tree worship is not limited to personal devotion but extends to festivals and communal rituals. For example, during the festival of Vat Savitri, married women worship the banyan tree for the long life of their husbands. The ritual involves tying threads around the tree and offering prayers. Similarly, during Aswatha Puja, women offer milk, flowers, and lamps to the pipal tree, symbolic and spiritual meaning. Trees have always been powerful symbols in human thought and culture. Their structure, deep roots, a strong trunk, and expansive branches mirrors human life and spiritual growth. The roots signify grounding and ancestry. The trunk stands for strength and identity. while the branches represent aspiration, knowledge, and connection to the divine. Many cultures see trees as the link between the earthly and the spiritual realms. The world tree or tree of life is a common motif in mythologies worldwide. In Norse mythology, Yggdrasil is a giant ash tree that connects the heavens, earth, and the underworld. In the Indian tradition, the concept of Kalpavriksha, a divine wish-filling tree, appears in scriptures and temple architecture, symbolizing abundance and divine grace. Worshipping trees also represents gratitude toward nature. Trees provide oxygen, shelter, fruits, shade, and medicine, making them essential to survival. The reverence shown to them through rituals and stories is a way to honor their life-sustaining gifts. Ecological and ethical implications. Though spiritual in essence, the cultural practice of tree worship has profound ecological benefits. By considering certain trees as sacred, communities ensure their protection from deforestation and exploitation. Sacred groves, which are patches of forest dedicated to deities or spirits, have historically functioned as reservoirs of biodiversity. These groves are often rich in rare flora and fauna and serve as natural water sources. Moreover, tree worship fosters a sustainable and respectful relationship with nature. In contrast to modern exploitation of natural resources, this tradition emphasizes coexistence, balance, and reverence. Ethical principles like ahimsa, nonviolence, and dharma duty extend to environmental care, with trees seen not as objects but as living beings worthy of respect and protection. Modern relevance. In today's context of environmental crisis, deforestation, and climate change, the ancient practice of worshipping trees offers valuable lessons. It reminds us of a time when nature was seen as sacred, not as a commodity. Many environmental movements in India, such as the Chepko movement, have drawn inspiration from these traditional values. In this movement, villagers, especially women, hug trees to prevent them from being cut, echoing the spiritual belief that trees are our protectors. Educational institutions, eco-conscious groups, and spiritual leaders now emphasize reviving tree-related rituals as a form of environmental awareness. Tree planting ceremonies, spiritual nature walks, and community festivals centered around sacred trees are gaining popularity as a blend of tradition and ecological responsibility. Criticism and challenges. While the practice of tree worship is generally viewed positively, some critics argue that it can become overly ritualistic and disconnected from actual environmental action. Lighting lamps and tying threads around trees may be meaningful gestures, but without genuine ecological consciousness, they risk becoming symbolic rather than transformative. There is also the challenge of balancing modern development with traditional values. Urbanizations often leads to the neglect or removal of sacred trees in favor of infrastructure. It is crucial, therefore, to adopt the core philosophy of tree worship, respect, protection, and harmony with nature to present day needs through education, policy, and community action. Conclusion. Worshipping trees is a timeless cultural practice that celebrates the sacred bond between humans and nature. It transcends religious boundaries and geographical borders, uniting communities in reverence for life, wisdom, and ecological balance. In a world facing environmental degradation, this ancient tradition holds the potential to inspire a new ecological ethic, one rooted not in dominance but in devotion. In a world facing environmental degradation, this ancient tradition holds the potential to inspire a new ecological ethic, one rooted not in dominance but in devotion. Reviving and reinterpreting such cultural practices can play a vital role in shaping a more sustainable and spiritually enriched future.